Let me tell you a story about a call that I screwed up a little bit. Almost screwed up a whole lot worse. Once I was out on the edge of town and ran a 20-year-old male who was shot through and through the bicep to the point that like you could look through his arm and see it was just through and through the bicep, no broken bone, no nothing like that. So we were going to go non-emergent to kind of a lower level trauma center. It's no big deal. After kind of dealing with him, getting a set of vitals, kind of into doing my thing, not necessarily in a big hurry, he started complaining about his testicles aching. And at the time I thought, like, you know, getting shot in the arm is kind of a bad day. But the way you make it worse is like getting shot in the arm and having your balls ache. Like there's no pride in that. That's can't be good. He kept talking about it. Eventually I made a paramedic student kind of cup and lift. And come to find out, he had a bullet wound in his perineum, in his taint. I don't know how it gets there. I don't know if that's a crazy ricochet. I don't know if he was running. I don't know if he was mooning the guy shooting at him. I don't know what's going on, but he's got a bullet hole in his taint. So this changes everything, because now instead of a through and through gunshot wound to a bicep that I can go non-emergent to a lower level trauma center, this is a torso wound. This is a central wound, probably went up into his abdomen, or at least I got to assume that. And so now we're going emergent to the big trauma center. The problem is that I've already wasted like 10 minutes kind of farting around thinking that I just had essentially a shooting boo-boo, and now I got a big deal. So let's talk about errors. Let's talk about how we do better and how we fix our process, how we fix our game. Hi everyone, I'm Angry Bill for Pre-Hospital Wisdom. This is a channel where we talk about pre-hospital related topics specifically. Medicine's medicine, but there's skills and attributes and knowledge that pre-hospital providers all share. So I was thinking about this because a study just came out. Here it is. It's a prospective study between 2017 and 2021. Where they looked at all cases seen in the ED who met one of four criteria. First, they returned to the ED within 72 hours and were admitted. Second, they were sent to the floor from the ED, but then the floor sent them to the ICU. Third, they died within 24 hours of arrival. And fourth, there was a patient or another provider complained about the care. So they were randomly assigned to emergency physicians who kind of did a quality review on them and then assessed would they have done something different. It's actually the question of the study. Would you have done something differently? So this study reviewed 6,672 cases, and reviewers said they would have done something differently in 815 of those cases. Of those 815, 374 were found to have an error by the Likert scale. Only 10 cases in which reviewers would not have done something differently were found to have what they qualified as an error. So based on that, asking, would you have done something differently, was found to have high sensitivity, 97.4%, and negative predictive value of 99.8% in predicting medical error. Specificity was a little bit lower at 92.9%. It's interesting that asking something so simple, would you have done something differently, can predict medical error in a retrospective review of cases. We can also practice this in our own care after each call, essentially. You can do this internally without even including your partner. Think about, would you have done something differently? So for me, at the original case that I was talking about with the bicep shooting that was actually a taint shooting, I should do a better secondary exam. I would do a more complete secondary exam sooner. I would consider distracting injuries sooner. I would listen to complaints of testicular pain more acutely and use that to key me into a search for causes sooner. There's a whole bunch of things that I could potentially have done differently. And I need to identify those because although there wasn't a harmful outcome in that case, the way that we get better without walking through life causing harmful outcomes constantly is to take those lessons from the cases where we can get them, to think about what would you have done differently, and then on the next case, doing that a little bit differently. That's how we improve. That's how we do better. If you do have a good partner that you can trust, and ask them, what would you have done differently? What did you think of that call? All those things, especially when it's not obvious, can also lend to a whole bunch of better ideas and better ways of doing things. So, let me know if you agree. This is Angry Bill for Pre-Hospital Wisdom. I appreciate your comments. Make sure to share and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far. I appreciate your attention. Until next time, stay safe.